All right, folks. My name is Dr. Nick Fanning. I have with me the FitGeek Chelsey Alderson. This is completely raw. This is unrehearsed. We have no idea what's really going to be coming out of this conversation, but I like to interview the people in this community that are passionate about changing people's lives. And what I'm going to do is we'll be posting this on email. You'll get a copy of this in case you want to watch it later. But the big thing here is that we need to figure out what's it going to take you, and I'm just going to totally borrow your tagline here, to level up your life. I absolutely love it. She owns the geek persona, and it really works for her. So Chelsey, tell us a little bit why you chose that, I guess.
Gladly. I am a geek. I'm a huge geek. I love going to those conventions. If anyone's ever seen the Sci-Fi Channel, you know, the cosplay show they got going on, that's me. That's what I do. My biggest weight gain was during my 5 years straight playing nothing but World of Warcraft. You got it on TV, and if it's something a geek's interested in, that's me. So I had to really embrace that part of me, and I'm actually kind of targeting more geeks out there like me, because there's a lot of geeks that want to be fit. We just don't know how to commit, and I've struggled through that, and that struggle to get to where I am today, and I'm still going forward, is just, it speaks to me. So I was like, I'm going with it, I'm running with it. I didn't know if I was going to be pushing away too many people, but a lot of people are interested in geeky things, whether you realize it or not, so why not go with it? Fit geek it is.
Yep. My parents were Treks versus Trekkers, you know, next generation versus the other one. Anyway, not to get into that too much. The reason that I really like Chelsey is that she's struggled. As a heavy person myself, I got my new motto here is train like a superhero this summer, because I'm a geek as well. My biggest thing here is that we all know those people have never had to worry about health and fitness their whole life. They either were taught it and they knew it from the start, but they never had to overhaul themselves and to maintain that. And Chelsey here has an amazing backstory about how she did struggle for 5 years, but then she turned her life around. And so Chelsey, can you touch a little bit on that?
Sure. Essentially, like I said, in the end of my college years is when I was the heaviest. So around 2009, 2010, that was when I was at my biggest. I was a size 24 and about 230-ish pounds. I say ish because I never weighed myself back then. Not until I started actually working out did I even care. So that's about where I was at, and I obviously was very unhealthy and very unhappy, because living in the college town, I was constantly getting that lovely dollar menu because I had only 5 minutes to get back to my raid, or whatever thing I was into at that time. So it was a big struggle for me. I tried doing a bunch of those fad diets that you could find online, where you try and eat from a certain list and then you lose weight because you don't have to work out. I tried all of that, and then I tried doing the quick little apps you could find about doing workouts on your own, and I just tried a lot of that, and it was ups and downs, up and down, but I never really lost anything. I never really felt better. I had no idea what I was doing. Eventually, in 2010, I did join Gold's Gym, and I got a trainer, and that was the big step for me, because when I joined them, that was my first time when I started to learn, okay, this is what fitness is all about, this is what health is all about, and this is what I actually need to do to accomplish my goals. So that was huge for me. The only bad part about that is it's very expensive, very pricey, and I was a single woman in paying for college and everything else. I did not have the money to do it. And once the time went out with the trainer, I kept up with it a little bit, and she got me down 10 pounds, which was huge for me, but then I hit my big plateau, and I struggled, and I just did not know where to go. So then I ended up looking around online, and I was up in the middle of the night one night and saw an infomercial for P90X at my mom and dad's house, and I was mesmerized by it for some reason. It was fate telling me this is what you need to do. So I was like, all right, why not? Let's give it a shot. I don't know what Beachbody is. I don't know what any of this stuff is, but it looks legit. So I invested in getting P90X, and I ended up doing that at home in my little tiny apartment. Had to move my couches and move my chairs out of the way just so I had a place to work out, but I made it work. And I started doing that very faithfully for a good year solid. And it wasn't until I really got into it that I started seeing the results, and that was because, again, I really did not know what I was doing. I had no idea Beachbody had coaches. I had no idea that they were there for you. I just knew that this was a program that looked legit, and I was going to give it a shot. So after doing it for so long, I finally figured out that after time, you can't do half those moves right off the bat when you're brand new at working out, and that was huge. I almost stopped doing it because I didn't know what I was doing. So I figured out over time on my own, unfortunately. I could have done this a lot easier, but how to do the moves, how to do the nutrition, and I realized when I started following the nutrition guide that comes with it to a T, I lost a lot better, and it was more consistent, and I wasn't starving myself, because let's face it, when you're really into it, you think, okay, the key to losing weight is not eating.
Right.
Or only drinking your food.
One of the biggest myths out there, absolutely.
So I tried that even, and of course, as soon as I would get hungry and I'd eat, gained it right back. So I was frustrated and I was struggling still. And it wasn't until I actually ended up joining a focus group on Facebook and getting a coach myself that I learned the true benefits of what Beachbody is and truly all about. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't know there were coaches, so when I just, through the wonders of Facebook and stalking everybody you do there, all of a sudden I was like, Beachbody coach, wait, that's the program that I'm doing at P90X. So, okay, apparently they're bigger than I thought they were. So I talked to the coach. The coach took me under her wing and told me, okay, well, this is what you need to do. Obviously, you've been doing P90X for a while, but you need something different because your body memorizes what you do. You need to branch out and do something different, and I was getting tired of P90X after doing it for a year and a half. So she said, there's a brand new workout coming out. It's called T25. It's only 25 minutes a day, which made no sense to me because I thought after going to Gold's Gym, you had to work out for a full hour and then go do one of the specialty programs or you weren't going to lose anything.
Right.
So that was a huge step for me. And I finally, after sitting down with her and her convinced me to get T25 as a challenge pack, that was huge because not only am I going to be investing in a workout, but investing in my health as well by adding my Shakeology to one shake a day. And I was very sketchy on it because it is a little pricey, and I didn't know if she was just being salesman-y on me. I had no idea what exactly I was getting into, but she was very real. She was very honest, and I could tell. I mean, anybody can tell when somebody's being honest. So I said, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. And I did, and it's just all uphill from there and all downhill on the weight loss scale. It's been great.
That's cool.
So,
folks, I think you can tell just how authentic Chelsey is, and that's the reason why that I was just so attracted to bring her to this office, is that because of that authenticity, that she just put it out there for you folks. And whether or not you've hit a plateau, because like as she mentioned, your muscles get that memory, or just starting out, I think you can understand that this is a really good resource for you to take things up to another notch. Now, she's been there, I've been there, where you try something and you fail, you try something and you fail, and you just get so frustrated. And you try something, and because somebody wasn't holding your hand or telling you really what it was about, we give up way too easy. And now here's the thing, she actually stuck with it for a year. Before getting help. And so, folks, here's the thing. You need to be able to bring on experts to help you out. Otherwise, you would have done it already. Whether it's through your own dietary needs or exercise needs and stuff like that, you have to have those people that you really can rely on for honest, real, true advice. That's why we're here. That's what we're here to do, is we're only here to serve. And you can tell those from the instant whether or not we're just trying to get in your pocketbook or if we're really trying to change your life. I hope you have an idea what she's talking about now. So, Chelsey, tell us about some of those key factors that took you from point A, from being a level 40, night elf, to now being a level 80 machismo, right? So, what are some of those key factors that it took?
Accountability. That is the hugest thing. Without accountability, you can't. You can't be Superman. You just can't. There's only one Superman. I'm sorry, folks. But you can be your own superhero and learn how to level yourself up through accountability.
Second, the train is always annoying. All right, let's go. Sorry about that.
No problem. So with accountability, like I said, you can't a lot of people say I can do it on my own. I'm very motivated. I'm pretty motivated. Like you said, I stuck with P90X for a year. But it still wasn't enough. Some people have significant others or husbands or wives, and they count on them as their accountability. That's great, but your husbands and wives will fail you, and they will tell you, yeah, it's okay, let's have mac and cheese for the next 3 days. It just happens.
We're stressed. Let's have pizza.
Exactly. I don't want to cook tonight. Do you know?
Oh, I just want to snuggle for 15 more minutes. Don't go work out.
Yep.
Right? Yep.
Exactly. And not only that, but you got your friends if you're single, and they're always going, "Oh, you work out all the time. You're fine. You look good. Let's go."
Old Chelsey would go out with us tonight. Yep.
Old Chelsey would be on the computer rating without any thought. So yeah. You struggle with this at all times, and the nice part, the thing that got me the best results and, you know, the fastest results, let's just be honest, was to have the accountability group, because I'm sitting there posting on Facebook in my challenge group saying, hey guys, I'm struggling tonight, I really don't want to work, it's been a bad day, here's my whole spiel of what's going on, oh, it's me, all these excuses, and they're like, you know what, we feel for you, but you still gotta push play, it's only 25 minutes, and you're like, oh, you're cold, you're heartless, I do not get it. Well, if it's really that bad and you just had no time and you're just in tears, they're also really good about telling you, you know what, tomorrow's another day. One day's not going to make or break you. It's when you get in that bad habit of going and doing it day after day, and next thing you know, 2 weeks later, I really should get back into working out. Whatever happened to that program? And accountability groups won't let that happen to you, unless, of course, you turn them off. But we're really hoping that if you're serious about this, you're not going to do that. You're going to invest the time in it. You've invested the money into it. We're going to be there to help push you, and that's just the key. I can't stress enough.
That's huge. Chelsey, thanks. Now, let's wrap things up, just because I know that people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter as we go through here. So I'm going to talk about 2 events that we have coming up, but first, Chelsey, why don't you go ahead and explain to them ways that they can get a hold of you, ways that they can decide to basically just drop the excuses and commit and go.
The easiest way to get a hold of me is through email, which is oneupfitgeek@gmail.com. I've got business cards in Dr. Nick's office. I've got them everywhere I can get them possible. But anyway, that's a great way to get a hold of me. If you're into Facebook and social media, I really want to stress you go on there. You can find me on Facebook. Just look up One Up Fit Geek, and you'll see me pop up with my nice little leveling up picture, and it's all that fun jazz. But if you go on there and you start following me, then you'll be able to see that I post as much as I can throughout the day, good tips, fitness, nutrition, recipes, motivation. So if you're not quite interested in committing just yet, that's a good way to follow you and at least keep you motivated until you do decide, I do want to get a hold of her. Then all you got to do, message me on that Facebook page, and I'll give you more contact info. I'll even hook you up with my personal page, and I'll make sure you're hooked up into my challenge groups, all that fun jazz. But really, I stress, follow me on Facebook. If you're not a Facebooker, email me. If you don't email, you know what? I will gladly give you my phone number if you just ask Dr. Nick for it, or we'll get you a business card and we'll set you up that way.
I don't know. If you're going to make a change in your life, it'd almost be worth setting on Facebook, because just the posts that she makes on a daily basis of eating well, moving well, thinking well, and just keeping it fun, she does an amazing job. And I was like telling her earlier before as a business owner, I was like, you're doing an amazing job building your brand, because I've never had so much fun like looking through your posts of some of the stuff that you post. So you're doing a great job. She's going to be there for you. She's going to make it fun and interesting. And we talked earlier about the cost versus, cost and price. The price, these things aren't free, but at the same time, they're very reasonable. And especially when you consider the cost. You're a role model, whether you like it or not. You got kids, you got people looking to you. What's the cost of that? What's the cost of future diseases or future problems you have? Get help, get somebody on your team, and get somebody that can help you make that next step, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Any last thoughts? Because you did awesome.
To be honest with you, I got to go with my true geek heritage and tell you, if you know anything about geek and gaming, I am your strategy guide to leveling up to the max.
I just got goosebumps. Thank you. Thank you.